it on Independent Television. My name is Gabriel Zachary. Of course, talking about education, you would always think in line of development. Why do I need to be educated? And what is the relationship between the education that I have and how beneficial it is to me? And when you are really talking about that, then we shall be looking at educating the girl child. And the issue of educating the girl child has always been in the front burner, especially when we talk about the number of out of school children in the country, and unfortunately Nigeria having about the highest number of out of school children in the whole world. And then over 80% of these out of school children are girl children. And then it becomes really worrisome, and then you start wondering why we need to educate the girl child. Is it important, to our national development? It can we correlate the way the points, we are now to the education of our girl children, of our women, how far or where we have been if we have had more girl children educated. Anyway, without letting the cat out of the bag, I have a public affairs analyst who could do justice to the topic of educating the girl child and national development, and she has become our regular guest here and talking about Dr. Aisha Shabi.
Thank you very much.
I would like to talk about your also a girl child.
Okay.
Yes, and then I will begin with maybe your take on more like an each long question now. It is important to keep it also.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, viewers. It is very, very, very important to educate a girl child. The world exists with two genders, the male and the female, and there is no way one gender will exist without the other gender coexisting alongside. So if the two of them will have to work pari passu, then it means that the relevance of one would to a very large extent affect the other. It takes the two gender, male and female, to pilot the society. So educating a human is a fundamental right, like I've always said, especially the basic education is a fundamental right. So if a man is deserving of such education, then the female counterpart should equally be deserving of it.
Yeah, I like the fact that you said piloting. That word is catchy, especially when it comes to movement, development. And then, is she more like a co-pilot, or she's the one on the back seat? The man is at the helm of affairs.
It's a very complex situation. I agree.
I was always thinking
Nature made it so.
Okay.
Nature posited the man as the head of the affair, but not neglecting the supporting role of a woman.
That supporting role, must she be educated to be that support?
Yes, she must be educated. I won't even talk about supporting role. It varies. It depends on the angle we are looking at. If it comes to the angle of education, then a woman can as well do whatever it is a man does when it comes to education. Because we have already established the fact that education is a form of enlightenment, self-awareness. So when a child, be you a boy child or a girl child, is aware and the talents in you, the prospects in you is being harnessed, then you will be able to do better. So if you educate a girl child, like there is a particular saying that when you educate a girl child, you educate the world. Because a girl child affects virtually everything around her situation, including the men folk. Like we have already established, a man cannot do without a woman. So if a woman is educated, she knows the principles guiding life generally, then she will affect the man positively.
Yeah, an important point you have raised there, because talking about education, that anything the man can do, the woman can equally do, and of course, that even on record, like last week, I remember one of the best students in the senior category, exams of the West Senior Secondary School,
was a female?
Was a female, lately, one of the best results was from 18, and so there's no disputing the fact that what the woman can do.
A woman can as well do.
Can also do. Okay. Without running the risk of she has gotten the right education, but how we should be given the opportunity to apply what she has, especially in a society like ours, where you will see that it is more like 95% male dominated in politics, and in workplace. More like she's not giving
enabling environment to strive.
Exactly.
And that is just the truth. But lately we can see that the atmosphere is getting clearer. There are changes going on, and I have some observations. I don't know if it is applicable to everyone else, but me personally as an individual, I observe that so many fathers these days cling to their girl child. They tend to have this emotional attachment to their girl child, and that is a good light there, because if you have attachment to someone, you want that person to come out well, come out good. So the society we find ourselves is such that little is being attached to a girl child. So if a father begins to love, cherish, value her daughter, then the prospect of that child becoming someone in future is glaring. And that is one thing that gives me joy. It gives me happiness. I, as a person, it was just by the grace of God that I went to school, owing to this same issue we are discussing here, a girl child. My mother gave birth to 6 girls, and the society was, they can't amount to anything. They are girls. If you send them to school, they will come back with pregnancy. At the end of the day, it's a waste of resources. So why send them to school? And that was how I was, after primary school, I was at home. Then something happened. I had a neighbor, a boy. We were in the same school, in primary school, the same class. So upon graduation, he went for secondary school and went to learn typewriting.
Okay.
So he got employed in one chamber, one law chamber within the vicinity. So on this fateful day, in the morning at about 7 a.m., I was out in front of my house with my mother and a neighbor that came to say good morning. And that boy was going to the law chamber to work. Okay. My mother now said, how about I send you to go and learn this typewriting so that you can be gainfully employed after that. And the woman shifted by saying no. May her soul rest in peace. Mrs. Rebecca Agada said no. Instead of sending her to go and learn typewriting, why don't you send her to a commercial college where she will learn how to type and still come out with secondary school certificates?
Okay.
Alright? At that point in time, my mother now said, well, she doesn't have the money. She said, why don't you start first? And that was the miracle, the turnaround miracle in my life. I went to that school and I started hawking kuli kuli and Cerelac. I scooped Cerelac just to be able to pay my bills. This is my personal story, and I think it should be a motivational and inspiring story for those that think, ladies, girls that think there is no light at the end of the tunnel. Of course, there is. I so much believe that.
How can we erode some of these traditions? Because I can tell you still that in so many, maybe when you're talking about the metropolis or not a city like ours, but in remote places in this country, I know where when they are looking for house help, the mother will send their daughter
out
to big cities, to go and work for people. Meanwhile, their male children would either be in school or, if it's the worst case scenario, let him go to farm. But she will be the one that they will send to do menial jobs in specific homes in the cities. And if you look in a city like ours, you discover most of the made people, who are busy, get some of these girls to work for them. So they amount to the number of out of school children that keeps growing. How can some of these practices be to stop?
It is a gradual process. Like I said, we are getting there. At least we are taking a step forward from what we used to, or from where we used to be. So many hindrances are the main issues why a girl child is uneducated. Like the one you have just mentioned, that is poverty. If the parents of the female child are well-to-do, they will send their daughter to go and become household to someone else. So poverty is a major problem. Number 2, awareness. Well, these parents don't even believe that their daughters can become somebody in future. They can do better. A friend once told me, because the father has girls, people were laughing at him, and he gathered his daughters and said, as a hunter, if you don't have a male dog to send for hunting, train the female dogs to become better hunters. So as far as I am concerned, you are my pride because you are my daughters. Go out there and make me proud. So that becomes a propelling force, because the man believes that the daughters can do better. And as I speak, the daughters are the one holding the home front.
But with an educated mother in the family over her children?
A whole lot. In the course of my own educational pursuit, I had a classmate, an old lady of about 65 thereabouts.
It's our education update, and of course we are looking at the prospects in educating the girl child. We will go on a short break. When we come back to the program, don't go anywhere. About the education of the girl child and the relevance of it in our country and at our homes. And we were talking with Dr. Aisha Shaibu, who herself was almost hindered, from going to school, but today rose to the point of reading, to the point of being a doctorate PhD holder. So we are glad to have you, Dr. Aisha.
Thank you very much.
Okay, it is only to be imagined if you had not gone to school. So I can tell the importance of school in comparison to someone who didn't go to school.
Yeah.
So we're talking about how effective it is being educated mother at home.
So, and I was going to give you an instance of a classmate who in her 60s to 70s, I think she's between 65 and thereabouts, finding herself in the classroom. And I asked the person, Mama, why are you here? And she said she got married after her first degree. So the awareness is there. She already know what it takes to be in school. Alright? So after having her children, of course, the priority now shifted to the children's education.
Yes.
Because she herself knew the importance of it. And her children rose to PhD holders. Her husband equally became a PhD holder. Then she now breathed down and said, this is my turn. Now that I'm done with the family, with the children, it is my turn now to achieve this. So she went for an MSc, and at that age she went for an MSc and then her PhD. Alright? So the fact that she already had the foundation, remember we have always said, lay the foundation. The foundation will give you the narrative on how to navigate. If you want to continue in that line, that foundation will be able to prompt you on. Alright? So the foundation will create a self-awareness that you're able to build up. Alright? So having known the importance of education as a mother, she was able to push her children to achieve it because she saw the talent in them that they could do better. And in their 30s, they were already PhD holders. After all said and done, she said, it is my turn. I can't be in the midst of all doctors and be the only one not a PhD holder. So that was the catalyst that prompted her into achieving. So a mother that is educated will be able to identify that which is in her child and encourage that child to move forward. Like we have always said, the barrier has always been finance.
You should be a better cook.
You see, to be a better cook and to be educated have nothing to do with each other. You could be out of school and still don't know how to cook as a woman. So a mother that knows how to prep her girl child in particular on becoming a better mother tomorrow will teach that child all it takes for her to be a virtuous woman. It is quite unfortunate that some of us that went through that tutelage are over pampering our children these days with the help of household. Your daughter is either watching television all through to the night or playing with phone, playing games and stuff like that. You are training that household and you are neglecting your daughter. You have failed. Alright? So it is very, very important. Education has nothing to do with culinary knowledge of a child. And a child that chooses, because most of them now, they are watching videos on those that do catering and baking and stuff. They will be the one disturbing, mommy, I want to learn this, I want to learn that. The awareness is what matters.
Alright.
Education will not stop a child from learning how to cook. No, that narrative is wrong. It is the discipline given to that child and the natural instincts in that child that will prompt her into doing or achieving so many things.
Alright, Aisha, you have established the fact that, of course, there is no denying, the importance of education because the girl child. But too, government or major stakeholders are there rules that they can play to encourage girl children, not just in major cities like ours. Even in remote areas, are there rules that government can play to see that we take these girls from out of school into schools, since it is just of importance and relevant?
Yes. Number one we identified earlier is poverty. Of course, a parent that cannot feed cannot afford to send a child to school.
But the issue is that when in comparison, let's say we have a male child and a female child, you will see that same poor parent sending his male children to school, leaving the girl child. So it's more like a mentality and a tradition.
Yes.
They feel at the end of the day, this man
will be more useful
in future
than the woman.
Yes.
Because
same parents who
they will send that girl child into early marriage. Alright? That is the belief why they send the male child to school and ignore or neglect the girl child. The reason being that that girl child will go into early marriage, or if not, like the impression they had on me as a person, that you come back with pregnancy. As a result, let the male child go to school. But the question you have asked is, what can the government do? If there are schools, free education within the locality where the girl child is, it will be easier for that girl child to attain or to benefit.
Yes, generally primary education is free, all over, everywhere in the country. But you still see in these villages, they prefer, the girl child do something different than to go to school. You see, the issue of education in the girl child is really broad. And rounding up, because we're running out of time, what would you have to say as a closing?
To wrap up this discussion, I would strongly suggest that parents should look at the girl child as the future pillar of the society.
What of government?
Government should create enabling environment for the girl child to be educated. We have female presidents, female governors, female parliamentary members and stuff. In fact, lately, a group was celebrating a lady appointed as a bank head in this country sometime last month.
For the first time too, a girl is going to stand for a
military academy. Yes. So it becomes an eye-opener. Professor Konjo-Iweala is someone that has set the pace for Nigerians. She has done really well for herself as a girl child. Reason being that she came from that background where education is appreciated and valued.
Yeah, the value of education, of course, cannot be underestimated.
Exactly.
Even for the girls' side, unfortunately, we are out of time. And this discussion is going to be a continuous one, and we look forward to another time when we will have this same discussion on education of the girls' side. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Alright, that's the size of education update for this week. But of course, when the program is over, you can always follow us at our social media handle www.itvradio.ng.com live or www.youtube.com itvradio.ng or www.facebook.com itvradio.ng. This is where you will continue to join the program even after the end of the program. So on that note, I say thank you for being there. My name is Gabriel Bakari. Until I come your way again next week with another topic, continue to educate your girl children because it's very important.